some people asking me to react to this. Apparently, Goji Center has made the Indominus Rex even more dangerous. Now, I don't really know how that's possible. This man is already super dangerous. Let's get into the video and see. And like I said, the video is by Goji Center. Big shout out to them. And let's see, how more dangerous could you make the Indominus Rex?
The Indominus Rex
He already
was
looks dangerous to me,
notorious
bro.
for laying waste to an entire park, leaving nothing but mutilated corpses in her path.
Exactly.
But here on Goji Center, we are going to take this even further.
How,
can
brother?
we make the Indominus herself more dangerous and
She's
her
a
warpath
savage.
more lethal? Today, we will deliver nothing else but
Not
more
me.
chaos, more carnage, more blood.
If you guys haven't yet,
In
scroll
a
down
previous
for me.
episode, we
Hit
talked
that
about the
subscribe button.
Ultrasaurus and its anatomy, and ended up bringing forth an even more powerful dinosaur capable of bringing
Ultra.
down just about anything this island could throw at it,
Imperatrix?
even an angry
What a name.
sauropod. For this episode, we'll be doing more or less the same with the Indominus Rex, studying its genetic composition and replacing a few contributors with surprising life forms that you won't even see
What would you
coming.
even call
the
this
idea is to
souped-up
build a more
Indominus?
lethal hybrid that will
What would
wipe
you
out
call it?
all significant life forms in this island, both big and small. And yes, this includes humans. This will require a different approach than what we did with
Indo's
Ultimasaurus
just so good,
Imperatrix.
man.
This animal was a result of creating a dinosaur that fits a certain template.
Hey, by the way, guys, let
Indominus
me know
at the
your
end of
favorite
this episode
dinosaur down
will
in the
still be
comments.
an Indominus,
I wanna see
but
how
will
many
look
of you have the
different,
same
since
favorite as me.
objective is
I'm
to
not gonna
cause
tell
an
you my
extinction
favorite.
event
You might know.
quickly and efficiently. Making this hybrid bigger will only mean that smaller life forms such as humans and below will be able to easily hide from this animal.
That's
We'll
true.
be reconstructing this hybrid to fit our extinction needs as we go.
Extinction
starting
needs.
with the overall
That's crazy.
frame.
See, I
If
wanna
the
know how
objective
you
is to
make
try
this
to
thing
reduce
strong.
the population on Nublar, an animal bigger than the Indom wouldn't
It's
really
already so
cut it.
strong.
This should be able to break inside some buildings as well as running down faster prey. So reconstructing the build might be necessary
Okay,
here. This
reconstructing
doesn't mean that we're
the
going
Indo.
to shrink the overall size. Remember, we do need to bring down these guys, sauropods too.
Yeah, you
So
might need to
keeping
make her
her
bigger.
large will motivate her to keep hunting
Or
to
keep
meet
her the same
caloric
size.
needs.
Change the
Outrunning
arms to
smaller life
beefy.
forms such as Gallimimus won't be necessary since ambushing can do the trick just fine. So, what should we do? To begin, we'll reduce the size of
You
the
gotta
hind
make her
legs
beefy.
to
It's
make
gotta
this
happen.
animal a bit more quadrupedal. This seems counterintuitive, but consider that quadrupeds can distribute their weight on 4 limbs instead of just 2.
That's true.
This Indominus can now be potentially faster and quieter. That's right. Now her weight can be distributed better
terrifying.
instead of 2 booming footsteps.
Imagine a
making
quiet
her an
Indominus
even better
Rex.
ambush predator than she already is.
Plus, she can
also,
already
she
camo,
now
right?
has a lower center of gravity, allowing her to have better balance and less likely to get toppled over. Our Indominus now looks a bit more menacing, but the biggest modification is about to begin. Number 2,
The front limbs.
It's no
Oh,
secret that the
okay, so the
Indominus
arms
is
gonna make 'em more
extremely
beefy.
intelligent, but giving her better limbs
Beef
and
'em
better
up.
dexterity will allow her devilish ideas to come to fruition much easier.
Dang.
That's why we'll
She's so
modify her
ruthless.
forearms to take the traits of an ape, like a chimpanzee.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
you freak out, note that she already has opposable thumbs, a trait also seen in apes.
What a
pushing
savage.
the already suspected ape genome here would most definitely help the Indominus a lot more in combat. How? Let us explain.
That lady
The
beefed up.
forearms and shoulders
Let's
of
go.
apes are anatomical marvels in the animal kingdom. Given this arrangement of bones and muscle, allow them to whirl their arms around 360 degrees.
I can do that.
This
Did you know
range,
that?
if given to the Indominus, will make
Just
her
kidding. I'd
grappling,
fall.
mangling,
Probably to my
and
death. R.I.P.
slashing so much more stronger that no
Oof.
other dinosaur will have any effective counter against these flexible maneuvers.
So a
But
super
that's
strong
not all.
punch slash
This upgrade
whatever.
also
Super
comes
strong
with
bite.
fast twitch muscles, making
fast,
these arms
quiet.
a lot stronger than they already look. Any
Man.
impact, grip, push, or throw will be many times more dangerous. And yes, throwing as well. One skill exclusive to apes is the ability to hold things,
Oh my-
throw them, and even use tools. Now, admittedly, it's a bit bizarre to see an Indominus use tools, but if the objective is for the Indominus to effectively kill all life forms, she will have to be capable of reaching tiny humans hiding inside crevices with her own arms,
That's
or
crazy.
with whatever else she can
She's got a
find.
spear?
No, this
What?
actually can happen. In the real world, chimps have been observed fashioning
She takes
spears
out an
to
AK?
jam into
Like
cramped
what?
spaces, impaling the small
Indo with
animals
an RPG.
inside. Because of the ape genome
I
coupled
don't
with
wanna
the
see
shorter
that one.
hind legs, our Indominus will now move a little differently when she's walking.
She
Knuckle
moves
walking
different.
would be a pretty easy way of getting
That
around
girl
without
different,
ruining
okay?
those claws. In the next section, we'll also be improving these. Our new Indominus is still capable of running on her hind legs, using her front arms as support when tearing through rough terrain, climbing steep inclines, and running through wide alleyways. This is now an all-terrain hybrid. Number 3,
All-terrain hybrid is
claws.
crazy.
Now to the business end of these
She's an
already
ATV,
overpowered
brother.
claws.
She's a
Therizinosaurus was a
four-wheeler.
good contributor to these, and they did function well enough. But how can we make these better? When it comes to slashing and rending as well as grappling, there is another more
She about to
optimal
get
shape from
Therizino
another
claws, or however
carnivore,
you say it.
none other than the largest predator in the Jurassic, Saurophaganax. Being this big means killing big dinosaurs. And
I
what better
never
with
heard of this
than
dinosaur.
these? What you see here is a reconstruction, but does not represent the largest known specimen of this genus. So yeah, they could have been bigger than this. This sharp hook
What
is
was
the perfect
that?
shape to grip the victim compared to the straighter claws of the Indominus. Mixed with the ape-like forelimbs, these will literally shred through the skin of the thickest hides of some animals.
That's-
as if you stuck a sharp
Wow.
hook in your mom's leather sofa. A hook
Don't
like
do
this
that.
inside, backed up by powerful fast twitch movements, will destroy the thigh of any dinosaur. Even a sauropod would topple down from a
Wow.
wound from these claws. This weapon alone will lay waste to all large-sized creatures. This hand, now that we can call it that, will grip any animal, toppling it down and killing without even needing to involve the teeth.
I was like, how did that
Its
thing
lower
just
center of
die?
gravity, aided by a wider stance, will make it impossible for any herbivore or even large carnivore to flank this creature.
Oh yeah, you're
Number
not sneaking
4,
up on the Indo.
Armor. With addition,
Not this
subtraction
Indo
will
anyways.
also be required. We already reduced the length of the hind legs, but we'll make another adjustment with this hybrid's armor.
And she's
An
about to get
animal
armor.
this big,
She's got a
like the
shield.
Indominus,
She
only
turns
really
into
needed to
Captain
rely on
America.
its robust size and thick hide, rather than osteoderms. For instance, the T-Rex wasn't defeated here because she lacked armor, instead because she got out-grappled. Indominus would have been fine here with just her thick skin on top of her
She's
body.
not a black belt.
These spiky osteoderms are
She
spread
better get
apart
back
too
to
much to
training.
be actually considered an effective form of armor, but we're there just for the cool factor. The real
It is
armor
pretty cool.
here, and here was the thick skull and thick hide. This body armor on the upper body would have been courtesy of
Hey, she was
Carnotaurus
getting
and
tossed around for real.
Majungasaurus. Upon looking at the animals themselves, we see that they both have tiny arms, kind of useless in combat. Keeping this
That's
mishmash of
adorable,
DNA
kinda.
would risk confusing the Indominus's instinct to use the forelimbs, complicating the internal anatomy now that
Bro,
this
the
animal has even
Majungasaurus.
longer arms. Raptor DNA
Those
helps here,
arms.
but we need something more to not only protect the Indom, but a contributor that is even more compatible with our now facultative quadrupedal hybrid. Meet the African dwarf crocodile. Okay, yes, it's a
That's
bit underwhelming
adorable.
at first glance, but this guy has something its bigger relatives lack. Armor on its
Cuteness?
upper body and below. Our Indom here was only armored from above and not from the sides. So now, with our croc here making itself present in this genetic composition,
That makes
we now
sense.
have full body armor to work with. Not extremely
Full
thick
body
and scaly
armor
like
is
the Giga,
insane
but something resembling
for an
this
Indominus
croc's thick
Rex.
hide. That is the part
How do
that's
you
not
beat it?
covered by osteoderms.
Good luck.
Something thick enough to fend off firearm projectiles and slashes. Another reason why this is the perfect animal to supply armor from is because this creature also has longer legs than your typical crocodilian. These guys spend most
So
of
he's
their
getting
time
up out
on
of there.
land
He's
and are
fast.
known for rushing prey beyond cover of water. This
I want
muscular
one of
tail
those,
will
bro.
help counterbalance the added bulk
Somebody
of the
tell me where I
modified
can get a
Indom
little baby
forelimbs,
alligator.
making
That's cute.
bipedalism easy when it
And
wants
won't
to
eat
run
me.
on two legs. For this reason, the African dwarf croc
Over here
proves
walking
itself
like
a better
Kong.
contributor than the Abelisaurus. Not to mention that
Bro,
this
those
new
arms.
crocodilian-like tail and genetics now allows the Indominus to be more aquatic. Sure, the crocodilian attributes are already present with the integration of Deinosuchus DNA, but our Indominus 2.0 will have a bit more crocodilian influence to its overall build, making
Crocodile.
it able to pursue animals on both
crocodile
land
Indo.
and water. Oh, but adding
The
a dwarf
Indodile.
crocodile is going to affect the size of this animal, right? No. Consider that adding raptor, Abelisaurus less than 2 tons, cuttlefish, and tree frogs didn't seem to shrink the... So adding a bit of reptilian croc DNA won't have too much effect. Okay,
Nice.
enough with the armor. Let's get to the fun stuff.
The fun
Number
stuff.
5,
Oh, here
the
we go.
Bite. Is it even possible
The
to
bite
make
of
this bite
97.
better here? Believe it or not, there is. The bite of the Indom was already kinda OP, given that the T-Rex base
Forgot
genome
about
was
that part.
already involved. The robust head of the T-Rex allowed the Indominus to be resilient enough to withstand heavy blows. But another one involved was the Deinosuchus, which from a critical point of view didn't
That's
add
a big
much
boy.
apart from bite force. Croc teeth are meant for penetrating and gripping.
Oh,
which,
no, not the
compared to
real
the
life
effects of a
stuff.
T-Rex bite,
At least
the
I didn't have to
T-Rex
blur
bite
anything
method
there.
proves more lethal and messy.
Dang!
It's likely that the exposed teeth of the
Mid-air,
Indom were
though?
courtesy of the Deinosuchus, but having exposed teeth can be a problem. Without any lips or gum tissue, tissue, the teeth would be at risk of rotting, weakening the enamel. That's if they're
Is
not
there any
submerged
dino
in
out
water
there that could beat
regularly.
Indo 1v1?
And since our Indom is not
What do
submerged
you
in
guys
water
think?
all the time, we may have a
Definitely
problem
not
here.
this one.
So
The
today,
Indo
we'll
we're
take
making
the
here, not
Dinosuchus
happening.
genome away, since a well-placed bite of a T-Rex powered jaw will be more than enough to handle just about anything alive on land. Instead,
Valid.
we'll make this bite deadlier by the incorporation of a powerful predator known to hunt down animals larger than itself. A cold-blooded killer with a brutal set of teeth.
It's
An
Capi.
insatiable thirst for
Imagine
blood,
I come
eating
in.
more than its body weight
It's my
every
teeth.
single day. No, seriously, we're not kidding. Meet the northern short-tailed shrew. This animal was selected more so because of what's going on under the hood. See for yourself.
See that
This
big
dude's grill
face?
features a tiny array of weapons of mass destruction. Jaws loaded with fast twitch muscles and known to gnaw through bone and protective shells in a span of seconds.
Look at his
This red
teeth. He
stuff
needs to
here,
brush.
not blood.
Dang.
In fact, any unlucky victim would wish it was.
What is it,
This
poison?
blackened red coloration comes from high amounts of iron ingrained into
Iron?
the composition of the teeth, producing extremely sharp cutting edges capable of sawing into prey. So, in effect, these teeth are metal. If this still fails to impress, we'll have you know that
Metal
this animal
teeth?
is one of those extremely rare examples of venomous mammals.
There it is.
That's right.
There's
Unlike
the
a snake
poison.
where it injects its venom through its fangs, this creature will violently jam its frontal tusks and insert venom violently all over the place, leaving a bloody mess. Now, some more factors can come into play as well. To make matters worse for the victims of this newly improved Indominus, this shrew lives in a near constant state of adrenaline rush, making it move faster,
It's
kill faster,
always an
eat
adrenaline
faster,
rush?
and as a result,
What?
will end up eating many times its own
Oh, he's
weight.
out.
In
That's
turn,
crazy.
motivating
He's quick
our
with it.
already hungry Indom to kill at a faster rate. Combine these new tooth attributes with that of a T-Rex bite, and we potentially have the most
it's over,
lethal
bro.
bite in the Jurassic
Look at those teeth.
franchise. This scene, our new Indom would shatter this ball like a light bulb. You may think that this animal can't get any worse, but you're very
There's more?
wrong. Number 6. What is more dangerous than one hybrid? Multiple. And no, we won't need Mr. Indominus for this, because in this scenario, Miss Indom won't need no man. Admittedly, the
Won't
Indominus
need
in
no
Jurassic
man.
World may have possibly had this ability genetically blocked per se, as to not repeat the same mistakes made in Jurassic Park, where these raptors started breeding without a male counterpart. We
They just
aren't
started
sure
popping
of
out
this,
babies.
but to make this more
That's crazy.
interesting, we'll allow this ability to play out in order for our new Indom to produce
Oh,
more
great.
clones
Look at all the
of
Indos, bro.
herself. By adding some whiptail lizard into the mix, an animal known for deliberately reproducing without a mate.
That's
this
so
has
crazy.
been seen
How?
before already with the Scorpius rex via parthenogenesis. The Scorpios, however, would undergo
Scorpios
a
is so
meiosis
big. I can't lie to
parthenogenesis,
you.
given that the offspring was a bit
But he's
different
cool.
than the mother, and not all traits were inherited by the baby Scorpios. In this scenario, all traits and
Oh,
all
bro, that
physical
Indominus
attributes
Rex
will be passed
2.0
down
is
from
so
mother
sick.
to offspring, bringing forth
Look at the
exact
face.
replicas of the mother using
It's
apomictic
terrifying.
parthenogenesis. This increases the likelihood of all of these new Indoms to work together, coordinating attacks like raptors, effectively killing all surrounding human life in a very short time. Not to mention, these guys are smaller, faster, able to run through hallways in smaller areas, able to grow at much faster rates than your normal dinosaur.
Better hope you have
and
a
even if
bunker.
the mother dies
You
or
got a
gets
bunker
killed,
that can't
she'll
be
just
found.
end up getting replaced
Like a
by
trap door,
another
not a trap,
identical
secret door.
hybrid who can also reproduce. These smaller, hyper-adrenalized hybrids will end up sweeping the island, bringing down medium-sized creatures via coordinated attacks.
Oh
In
my
no time, the
goodness.
human and dinosaur population will be rendered down to very few.
That's
turning
crazy.
this island sweep into a search and kill operation. We've
Oh, no.
successfully created an
Run.
animal that can cause an extinction-level event in this island, but there's a chance we could turn this into a global catastrophe. Number
A
7,
plague.
Plague. With so much carnage and bloodshed happening in this island, it will be inevitable for
If it
disease
wasn't
to
dangerous
spread.
enough, now
The
it's got a
putrid scent of
disease.
rotting corpses fills the air as hordes of blood-stained Indominus Rexes run around looking for the next thing to kill. One nasty aspect when it comes to genetics is that when dealing with life forms, the
Cover
microscopic
your mouth when you
ones are
sneeze, please.
infinitely harder to control. We're talking about viruses. To put this very, very simply, viruses hijack cells and the DNA chain to make copies of themselves. They leave traces of themselves in the host, and the host will leave traces of itself
My boy
in
just
the
became a
virus.
doctor slash
so they both
scientist out of nowhere.
exchange
I love it.
information, basically.
Shut
when
out,
the
Goji.
virus jumps to another different species, it will die off because it was not able to replicate. But if it does replicate, then a new strain is made, which can be terrifyingly deadly to this new infected species. What does this have anything to do with our Indominus extinction event?
I'm not sure.
Over 61% of all major viruses and bacteria-borne diseases started out in one type of animal before jumping to humans. Consider that the Indominus would be a large-bodied predator roaming over a large area, miring itself with all sorts of diseases, bacteria, fecal matter, blood, and all sorts of pestilent elements. And since it's a hybrid, it will pick up all sorts of bacteria from both birds and mammals. Rabies, avian pox, flu, and the moment one unlucky human just gets near a place an Indominus has been, drinks the same water, or just breathes the same air, then this dude risks getting contaminated and spreading it out to his companions.
Oh,
but
great.
wait, this guy is a human. How did this hybrid infect this human? Well, if you remember our ape genetic contribution earlier,
That's an
also
orangutan,
serves
but
a
it's okay.
different purpose, bridging or breaking a genetic barrier for a virus to potentially affect humans, producing a deadly strain spreading amongst anyone who manages to escape the island, both bird and human
if it wasn't
alike,
already dangerous
leaving
enough.
millions
It threw in
of
a
dead
plague.
life forms in its wake.
And that is going to be the end here. Basically, everybody would die if they get eaten, if they got a virus. Let's hope that never happened. I love you guys. I will see you on tomorrow's video. Thank you for watching with me. I love y'all. Goodbye.
This is a new day. Look